Hi everybody, welcome back to Alexis University. This week we're going to be talking about distractions at school and how to kind of avoid those, and if you can't avoid them, how to find other ways around it. So for me, when I first started college, I didn't have any friends, so I didn't really have distractions, but as soon as I started making friends, they were my biggest distraction. There were times where I would just sit in the lobby all night and just play pool or talk to the people that I met in my hall, trying to get to know new people. And I feel like that could be really hindering towards your education, because if you really think about it, like, you're losing sleep, you're losing time that you can be doing your homework, you're losing time that you can be in office hour, or even joining clubs that could potentially help you in the future. So I think that that's one of the things I regret about when I first started college. Like, now I'm doing just fine, but I think had I not fed into those distractions, then I would have been much further along when I first started college. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is how to get away from those distractions. So one of the things that you can do is set time limits for yourself. So for me, instead of just being out in the lobby all night or however long I was there, I could have said, okay, from 7 to 9, I'm going to be in the lobby, and then from 9 to 11, I'm going to do homework, or from 5 to 7, I'm going to do my homework, and then from 7 to 9, I'll go to the lobby, talk to my friends, and then from 9 till 11, I'll do more homework, or, just give yourself those guidelines and those parameters, because I think that'll really help. Because, of course, you need to talk to your friends. Sometimes you need just a little break from studying or a break from your homework, but if you're always constantly with your friends, or constantly just not being productive, then that can be really hindering towards your grades. Another distraction in college could be your significant other. Sometimes people say, oh, don't go to college and have a girlfriend and boyfriend, because like by the time you get to college, you're not going to be thinking about them, etc., blah, blah, blah. But I don't necessarily think that that's true. I think it's almost better if they go to a different school, because if you think about it, you won't have as much time to see them or just be around them, because you'll be at a different school. So you'll have more time to focus on the things that you're working on, instead of just being up under them all the time. Like, hey, let's go eat together. Let's go to the library together. Like, a lot of times people spend a lot of their time with their significant other, and they're not really understanding, like, actually, I think we should spend a little bit of time away from each other today, because yes, we're being productive, but I feel like I would be more productive if I was by myself. Because if you think about it, your significant other is pretty much like your friend too. And so when you're with your friends, when you're with your significant other, you're pretty much always talking about something, whether it's something that happened during the day, whether it's something that's going on in your life. You're always talking about something. And sometimes you need that alone time to yourself to make sure that you are getting that homework done, make sure that you are filling out those quizzes online, because they have deadlines. And so if you don't make sure that those distractions are out of the way, then that will just be bad for you. So say, for example, you're taking an online quiz, and your significant other comes up. They don't realize you're taking a quiz, and they start talking to you, and next thing you know, 30 minutes has gone by and your quiz is almost over. So now what do? You can't get that time back for your quiz. Not to say that that's a bad thing for them to come and study with you, but if you would have just told them, like, hey, from 5 to 7, I'm just going to be by myself, taking my quiz, doing my homework, and then from 7 to 8, we can go eat, we can talk, have fun, whatever you want to do. But just make sure that those distractions are cut out very early, and that you set those boundaries and those guidelines for yourself, because it can be very hard to, once those distractions are like kind of permanent in your life, it's very hard to get away from them, because they become like a routine for you. And when that routine starts, it's just like, oh wait, this feels weird to not do my routine. And so that's some of the things that you need to think about when you're hanging out with your friends or your significant others. Another thing that can be a distraction is social media. So I am like totally in love with social media, all things social media. I even studied social media in college when I was getting my master's degree. So I understand like social media plays a big part in how we live our everyday life. But at this time, I'm going to tell you why it's not necessarily the greatest thing. So for me, social media is a tool that I use to gather information pretty much. I'm a news writer. I find different stories on social media. But I also find that I spend a lot of time just doing nothing on social media, or just looking at stuff. And for me, I really like to look at pictures, so that's kind of why I'm always on social media. But it can be a big distraction. Like for me, I'll say, okay, I'm going to start my homework at 5. 5:45 comes around, I'm still looking at Instagram or Facebook, or I don't really have a Twitter, but I can look at Twitter through my apps. But you know, if you just think about it, like all this time that you're spending on Facebook or Instagram, you could be spending time like with your friends, and during that time, you know, just having genuine conversations about things. And so when you get distracted by the social media, it just becomes, like I said, a part of your daily routine, and you're continuously on that social media platform. And I mean, that's not like it's helping you in any kind of way, especially in college. Like, yeah, there are some times where your teacher will say, depending on what your major, like, hey, I want you to post this on social media, or I want you to make a social media page for the class and do these 3 different things on social media. So yes, you will need to be on it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but that does really distract people a lot. And sometimes people will say, oh, okay, at 4 o'clock I'm going to start my homework, but they're on Instagram. And so at 4:05 they're like, oh, I gotta wait till 4:30 because I missed my mark. Like, no, you just need to put it down, and you need to stop being distracted by it. Lastly, you can also be distracted by work. So I know a lot of times people say like, oh, I'm not going to work in college, or oh, I'm going to work in college because I want to make money. But sometimes people take it overboard, and they feel like they have to work so many shifts. And I understand some people are trying to pay their own way through college. Kudos to you. But you also have to have a balance, because if you don't have that balance and you continuously work, one, you're going to get tired. You're going to overwork yourself. And two, you're not going to be able to be successful, because you're going to be always thinking about, okay, I need to work. If your maximum amount of hours is like 30 hours a week at your campus, okay, I need to work 30 hours this week so I can make sure that I'm paying these bills on time. Like, yes, you need to make sure your bills are paid on time. That is important. But you also need to find a balance so that you're not overworking yourself and not getting your work done as well. So thanks for watching my channel. If you have any questions about other distractions, or if you think of some other distractions, post them in the comments below and maybe we can talk about them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also join us on alexisuniversity.com to read more blog posts. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.